Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these wooden ornaments and wooden plaques using dog and cat stencils and some other holiday designs. These turned out very cute, very adorable, and they will be something great to give as gifts or to keep for yourself, so stay tuned.
So we want to show you a preview of what's to come in our video, but we want to give a big shout out and thank you to Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy, and then also Yvonne from Ginger Chicks Rehab for hosting the Sunday Funday, and we have their information listed in our description box. But these are our cute little ornaments with cats and dogs. These are great for pet lovers or to decorate your own tree. They're really simple, and these are the wooden planks that we have. All of the items here we purchased with dollar items from the Dollar Tree or Walmart, so these make these very affordable and super easy to make. So the first item that we're going to make are the wooden planks, and I purchased these at the Dollar Tree. This is what they look like, and they come in a pack of 6. All I did was use a wood stain. This is a medium shade that I used. So you have several different options. We're going to use words on 2 of our planks, and I also got the wooden letters there from the Dollar Tree that came in a pack. And then this is the paint that I'm using. This is a chalk paint, and I did purchase that from Walmart, and I'm using an ivory color. So I'm going to use the word joy. All I did was I painted my letters with the ivory, and then I'm going to glue those on with some of the E6000 glue. Just make sure they kind of line up to where you want them. Make sure you have them kind of even and spread out on your plank. So I'm just applying some of the glue here. Also on the one with joy, I wanted to tie a little design on the end. So you want to leave enough room right at the top if you want to put some of the twine or some decor on the top. I went a little further up with the other one with the word home because we decorated the top of it a little bit different. So here is the plank that has joy on it, and as you can see there's a little room left on the top. Next, what I'm going to do is I have this twine, and I also purchased that from the Dollar Tree. I want to wrap that around the top of kind of the top and then the corner, and I just took a hot glue gun and glued the end down there on the back. And then I'm going to wrap it around a couple times in the front. You just want to make sure you get it pretty tight because you don't want that twine to be sagging. I had to hit it a couple times on the back right there around the corner with the glue gun to get it to be tight there on those corners. So next what I did was I have some of the garland I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I just clipped a little piece of that, twisted the ends of it for the greenery, and hot glued that. And then I took 2 of the little small pine cones that I got from the Dollar Tree and hot glued those on there. So for our second plank, I'm going to make a snowman, and I bought this 3-pack of round sponge brushes at the Dollar Tree. The first round, or the bottom part of the snowman, I'm using the largest sponge brush in that pack, and I'm going to make 2 round circles with that large one, and then I'm going to go back with the medium size and do the third one to do its head, the head of the snowman. There is a smaller size if you wanted to do all 3 sizes, but I like these 2 larger sizes for my snowman here on the plank. I did have to go back and do that one twice there just to fill it in a little bit better. After you get your circles, I'm going to use just a brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go back and put a hat on my snowman. I just made a line there, and I wanted it kind of sitting sideways on his head. I didn't want it straight up and down. And then I went back and painted a square there on the top just to give him a little top hat for my snowman. So next what I'm doing here is I'm just making some stick arms for my snowman. I'm going to put 1 on each side. A paintbrush was getting this a little bit too wide for me, so what I'm using is the Dollar Tree has some like wooden skewers to cook with in their cooking section. So this is what I am using. It actually has a pointed tip on the end, so it works really good to do something if you really want the fine line or a pointed type look. I'm just going to make him have 2 stick arms, and then almost like he has 3 little fingers or 3 little stick hands at the end of each arm. If you don't have any of these or you can't find these, you can use something like a little toothpick would work good. Or you may be really good with a paintbrush to add his stick arms with that. After I've gotten his arms there, I'm going to go back and add some snowflakes around him. And I'm just making these, I'm just going to make an X and then make a line through there and try to make a little dot or a little point on the end of the snowflakes. So I'm just adding my little points here on each end. And I'm going to add about 3 snowflakes around him. Now, depending on the size of your snowflakes might depend on how many that you want to add around him. And then I'm just going to go back after I have that X, and I'm going to add another line through there. So I'm actually going to do 2 more little lines in here to really make this look like a little fluffy snowflake. So I'm going to do the X, and then I'm going to do a line through each side of the X, and then try to make some little ball points or some little points on the end of the snowflake. So next what I'm doing is I'm just going to go back and decorate my snowman plank similar to the Joy plank. I'm just hot gluing the twine on the back and then wrapping it really tightly around the top. You just want to make sure it's not sagging. You may have to hot glue the back a couple times just to make sure that that's getting tight back behind there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and take some of the garland and snip a piece and then twist it around the ends. That way the center of it is separated some for you to add either pine cones or jingle bells. I'm going to put jingle bells on the snowman. And we found a pack of jingle bells at the Dollar General that had several different sizes. It has red, gold, and green bells in it, and there's a small, medium, and a large bell. And they were only either $1 or $2 for a pack that had several in there. So what I'm doing is I just hot glued the garland, and then I'm gluing the jingle bells in the center there of the snowman plank. And as you can see, I added 3 of the snowflakes around the snowman. So here's a finished look of my snowman. For some reason the Joy was upside down, but you will see it at the end. I did go back and add 1 gold jingle bell too to the center of him. So for our last 3 planks, what I did was paint 3 different Christmas trees. This first Christmas tree that you see here, I just painted 3 triangles, and the triangles are touching. You don't see any of the tree stem or the tree in between the triangles. For some reason, I don't have on video where I painted the other plank that has the 3 triangles, but the only difference between that one and this one is you see the tree bark or the stem in between the triangles. You can take, if you don't want to freehand the triangles, you could take a sponge and clip the corner off. That would make a triangle to use for a stencil. On all 3 of the trees that I did make a star at the top of each tree, and then the stem or the bark at the bottom of the tree. You can see that on each of the planks. This last tree that I'm going to show you on here, I really felt like it turned out the best. I think this one is my favorite. And all I did was draw a line straight down to make the tree trunk or the tree stem, and then I just took, and made little lines out from the tree on each side. I did one side and then went back and tried to match up on the other side. It's not exactly the same on the other side, but I think it turned out good enough. I did have to turn my tree there a little bit to be able to get to that other side. And then I went back and put a star on the top of this one as well. I think this one turned out to be my favorite. We didn't go back on our trees here and put twine around them or any design. We really like those, just leaving those plain. I think they probably would look really good if you're using them for decorating, to put all 3 of them together so you can kind of show the different designs. Definitely make them unique and make them your own. I did go back on this one. I'm going to add a star at the top of this one as well. I think these really kind of capture that farmhouse type look if you have that look for decorating for Christmas with the wood and then the off-white with your paint. That really captures that farmhouse look. So here's our finished 3 planks with Christmas trees. The one on the right is the one that you didn't see in the video that has the tree branch in between the triangles. Next, I didn't have the home in the video either, but the only thing different is I wrapped the twine around the right side and I didn't put pine cones or jingle bells on that one. These look great for display or decor, or they're really an inexpensive, quick way to make something for a gift, and they do have that farmhouse vibe feel. So next we're going to move on to the Christmas ornaments. I found a package of these round wooden circles. This is the label from Walmart. They come in a pack of 6 unfinished circles. I think they were about $1.47, $1.67 for a pack of 6, and we just stained these with a medium shade of wood stain. I got the stencils from the Dollar Tree. These are really cute with the little cats and dogs. There's a couple different dogs, a couple cats, and then a few different other animals on here, but we're just using the cats and dogs on our ornaments today. I am going to use a stencil brush. I did get that from the Dollar Tree too, and that worked really good for the small type of stencil. The paint color I'm going to use is this ivory chalk paint, and I got this from Walmart. So being that these stencils are really small, I tried a couple different ways to do this, and the best way that I found out is just holding it really tightly and then using the stencil brush, putting a small application of paint on the brush and then dabbing it up and down. I first tried to tape the stencil down and use a spray paint, and that was just too wet and too runny. Then I did try to use an acrylic based paint and tape the stencil down and actually brush across there. And again, it just looked like a big blob. It didn't make a good enough definition around the legs and the ears and the face of each of the pets on here. So as you can see, all I'm doing, this is a little weenie dog. I think he's my favorite. And you can see a little bit of the white around there, and I just went back and kind of touched those up with some stain. But what you want to do is you want to hold tight whichever side you're doing. Really get that good and secure with your fingers and do one area, and then move your fingers around and get it really good and tight, like around their feet and legs, and then dab in that area. And then once you finish it, hold down where you're going to apply your paint. If you do have, when you pick your stencil up, if it ran a little bit, you can always take one of those little paints, the little cooking skewers like I painted on the Snowman, and touch back up with some brown paint, or the stain might be a little runny to get around the animal, but brown paint would work good if you had to do any touch up. Just when you're dabbing the paint on there, I did notice that some of the animals, they needed a little bit more white kind of in the center of their body, so I just touched those up. And then again, this is all I'm doing is I'm holding it really tight. That's where I found that was probably the hardest to get. It was right around the ears and in between their paws or their legs. So I know this one cat, his ears kind of went together, so I just took one of them skewers and just touched a little bit with the brown just to make it define those two different ears there on him. And again, here's some of the dogs. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just holding it down really tightly and trying to push with my fingertips around the little spots to make sure it gets in there real defined and that the paint doesn't run. This chalk paint's a little bit thicker base paint, so it did much better than when I tried to use the acrylic base paint. He also looks really cute. I think one of these is a golden retriever and one is a lab. They did have theirs like a pug, I think, is one of the animals on the stencil, but we didn't use him. And then here's our ornaments laying down. I did take one of the letters. You can see the G. It also looks really good to use as an ornament, and I just glued it down. We took some of the garland and glued the little pine cones on there on a couple of them. And I just took the twine there. You can see on the back, we just tied it together in a knot and then hot glued it for our hangers. These are really sweet and easy to make. You can, if you know, if you're making it for yourself or you know the name of the pet that you're making it for someone, you can also go back and write the pet name on here. That would also give it that extra added touch. So we wanted to show you our ornaments on the tree. This is just a little tree we put up. I don't have my Christmas tree up yet, But these look really cute with the green on the tree. The weenie dog there, he's my favorite. I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, I want to thank Diane, Yanni, and Yvonne for having the Sunday Funday. Again, if you want to see their information is listed in our description box. Subscribe to our channel. We have lots of seasonal DIYs. Check out our other seasonal DIY videos. These are, an inexpensive way if you need a great gift for someone, especially pet lovers would really love to receive an ornament with the pet, or you can always use the initials to specialize someone with that perfect ornament, or if you have to do some kind of ornament exchange for work or dirty Santa gift, this would be a really sweet and inexpensive way to make that special gift for somebody. Like this video, give us a thumbs up. That helps our video stay at the top. Stay tuned, and we want to show you some of our adventures here as we love to go hiking. So this is a recent trip where we went hiking. This is Hanging Rock State Park in North Carolina. This is at the foothill of the mountains, of the Appalachian Mountains. These are some of the lower peaks. The fall leaves are absolutely breathtaking at this time of the year with the orange, yellows, and the reds that you see in the forest. I also have some video of the waterfall there. I didn't want to voice over there. I wanted you to be able to hear the water, so you can hear a few people talking in the background. But these are just a couple quick pics of the leaves there that we saw on our trip.
Place to put it on.
So these are some of the mountain peaks. You can see the left back there, that defined knob is Pilot Mountain. That's really a special place in North Carolina, another great place to go hiking. This is the tower that you can climb to see these peaks. And the last one is actually Hanging Rock Peak, and that's a different hiking trail there.